Hi, I'm Jennifer Lepore, Online Education Manager here at Artist Network TV, and we've been in the Artist Network TV studios for a few days with Linda Kemp. It's been so great to have you here, Linda.
Thank you, Jennifer. It's
You're
been so
welcome.
much fun, and I enjoyed the chance to show the way that I work and share the ideas with a video. I think it's marvelous with technology today that we can do these videos and get the ideas out so easily. It's wonderful.
It sure is. And with that in mind, one of the videos that we worked on is Simplifying Color and Design, which is going to be a great accompaniment to your new book that you have coming out in November with Northlight. So that's really exciting for folks who pick that up. They'll be able to get some real good action going on with the text that they're reading.
Good. I'm excited to see the book out on the shelves. It's been a labor of love, so I can't wait. That's good.
Good. And the other project, just so folks know, we've got 2 additional videos. One is on watercolor painting using Linda's negative painting method, and the other is acrylic painting using that same negative painting method. Yes. And I wanted to start out asking, how did you get involved with the negative painting method? It's just you, and I don't know how else to really describe it.
Thank you. Well, certainly negative painting isn't something new. It's been around for thousands and thousands of years, going back to Paleolithic man. So I'm certainly not going to claim that I started it, but I'm more obsessed with it than probably most people. And I have enjoyed developing projects and sharing ideas with students so that they can do it as well. But it really started going back now, oh gosh, probably about, I'm going to say about 35 years ago. And I was taking some private classes, and the lady that I was painting with, she had a bouquet of weeds, roadside weeds, set up on the table. And as I was painting them, I painted the stems. And she said, "Do you see the space in between those stems?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "That's the negative space. Make that shape. Do you see the shape? Make the shape." And so that's what I did. And I still have that painting. That's my treasure.
Oh, wow.
And it's not a great painting, but it was my first move towards working that way. As far as building in layers go, I have a bit of printmaking background, so I've done some colorgraph work in which we were layering, so that gave me the idea to build it up. So it comes from painting as well as printmaking background.
That makes sense, yeah. Now, did you always start doing with watercolors as your favorite medium, or did you start before that with another medium?
That's kind of fun, actually, for me, because watercolor is my first true love. And it started, I've painted my whole life, and I was taking some classes with a lady. We're down in her basement. My sister and I would ride our bicycles, which came from the dump, and we rode our bikes to our Saturday morning art classes, and we listened to classical music, which was just wonderful. I think I was probably about 7 or 8 years old. And we would start off with watercolors, and our first lesson was the color wheel. And we worked in watercolors until we were 10 years old. And at 10, you were allowed to progress into the next room, which was the oil painting. This was supposed to be the real painters were 10, and they would work in the oil. So I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait until I finally got a chance to paint in oil. Finally, the day after my birthday, my 10th birthday came, and I got to cross the threshold into the real painter's room. And I did one oil painting, and it was of a wood duck. It was terrible, and I just said to my teacher, "Can I go back to the watercolor classroom?" And I did, and that was it. I certainly have painted in oil since then, but no, that was it. It was watercolors was definitely my first love.
And how did you find acrylic then?
Well, it was something that I had been thinking about when I wrote my first book. The whole time that I was doing it, I was really thinking about what else could I do? What other medium could I be working in? I was thinking about how the ideas might translate from watercolor into an acrylic. And I wanted to just try something else. As I say, I'd been painting with watercolors for a very long time. And so when the book finished, I went to Doug Hopper from Holbein. And I talked to him about my ideas, and he listened very carefully. And I said, what do you think? Do you think I should work in oils, or do you think I should work in acrylics? And he said, I think you should try acrylics. And he loaded me up with some stuff and sent me home.
Goody.
And that was it, yeah. So it was the start of a whole new affair with acrylics.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, I love
Wow.
them. I absolutely love them.
I know there was a lot going on with the acrylic painting project that you did, where you were talking about how the layers were limitless with
Yes.
the method and the acrylics.
That's right.
That's really
right.
neat. So is that the main difference that you find when you're using your method of painting between watercolor and acrylic, or is there more to
Well,
it?
I think that's a good question. I think basically the approach to working in the negative translates very, very well. I was surprised at how well it translated. I needed to learn how to handle the paint and understand the differences. But I quickly figured out that it was the layering that I like to do, just like with my watercolors. The main difference being with the acrylics, or with the watercolors rather, generally starting from light and building to dark. The acrylic, I had the versatility of starting with any value level and then going in different directions. So finishing with the lights and piling on the opaques. And it's been a really great adventure with the acrylics. Extremely challenging, and where a lot of people think that acrylics are easier because you can just block out. That has not been my experience. I actually really struggled to get a handle on the medium itself, but and that challenge goes on. I try to learn something with every painting I do.
Yeah, it sounds like it, and I think that's something that you brought out in the acrylic project. I think you closed it with something about, I hope that it inspires folks to take a risk. And
Absolutely.
It looked really fun.
Yeah, and if you're going to make a change, make a big change. This, little bits of color just aren't going to make a big difference. So if things aren't going right, just go for it. Hold your breath, put down the color, see what you can do.
That's good. Now, do you teach? I know that you teach. Do you teach both watercolor and acrylic then?
Yes,
or?
I do.
Okay.
I teach in both mediums, and I teach landscape as well as close-ups of patterns in nature and still life and florals, and also a little bit of figure work. This is something new that I've started doing.
Oh, nice.
And yes, in both mediums, and I teach plein air as well as in studio classes. Yeah, I have the great fortune of being able to do a lot of travel with my teaching and spend time in France with students and in England and in the United States and Canada.
Oh, that's lovely.
It's a great life.
Yeah, it is. And thank you so much for taking the time to come here with us. We hope we see you again soon.
Thank you. It's been an absolute joy, and it's been wonderful to work with the staff and crew here at Northlight. It's wonderful.
Good.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And folks, be sure to check out these 3 new videos from Linda and her new book, Simplifying Color and Design, which will be out from Northlight 2013, around the November month, I think. So also, don't forget Watercolor Painting Outside the Lines. That's the one that Linda referred to earlier. It's a great book as well. So thank you all, and we will see you again soon.
Thank you.